There we are. It's episode 113 of the Joe and Babe Show. You're on Q Talk America, as we had in the parade last week, the world's #1 LGBT talk media network. I'm Joe DeGanzik.
And I'm Babe Kaler.
And this is the show where, you know, whether we have a guest or not, we're always talking about what's going on, usually around here, around the region, around the country, or
everywhere,
perhaps around the world. We have talked about other planets when, like, the Mars thing touched down, so I guess we could say that we're kind of inter-solar system, but, you know, there's no one on Mars as of yet, unless they're underground, so we don't know that.
So, but we could be intergalactic.
There's probably really great gay rights on Mars because there's no one there.
True.
We could just establish a colony, right?
That's true. That's true.
We're moving to Mars.
We're moving. How
are you? We're moving on up. I'll go into more of this a little bit later in the show. Overall, I'm great. It's kind of just been, there's so many things that have gone on and pieces of my life that were stressful that I've talked about ad nauseum for weeks and months on end have all kind of, you know, gone away. And now, you know, you can actually then look at the rest of your life and say, well, all right, what's left that's either stressful or that you want to change? Because what happens is you take away stress points, you take away things that were bothering you, and everything else tends to show up. I mean, you get a crystal clear kind of view of everything. And also the things that were not there, you actually get very, very much relaxed. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to remind listeners that we are brought to you, of course, by our friends at TLA Gay, where now through the end of the month, it's the last time we're going to run this offer for a while. We know you've heard it before, but you really should go there because we talk about these offers as, you know, as we have personal experience with them. And I have a lot of personal experience. I get usually my little gay calendars from TLA and other little things.
Only your calendars?
Well, maybe some other things. But anyways,
all right.
TLA Gay, it's a, you know, LGBT owned and operated company for many, many years. They're out of the East Coast. And from now until the end of the month, you know, they have ebooks and literature and films and cinema, those are the same things, and toys and clothing and so many different things, and some stuff that you can't get at Amazon, you can't get at these other places. You can only get it there at tlagay.com. If you go to tlagay.com/qtalk and go to that specific address that's up on the screen right now, and then go to when you're done checking out, you can get 10% off your entire order on top of any other discounts by entering the code QTalk. So
do it.
If you're listening to the podcast or listening live, you can multitask. You can go there, do some shopping. I'm sure it's springtime. There's, you know, you got to go buy the new swimwear that you're going to be wearing in the summer, right? We saw lots of people in swimwear and other naughty things last weekend at the Phoenix Pride Festival.
I was really impressed because there were not a whole lot of naked bodies.
There were just enough.
Okay, just enough. You go. All right. I understand.
Yes.
Because there were some hotties all the way around. Male, female, trans, whatever.
And perhaps a little bit of...
yeah. Oh, that too. Okay.
Right.
And fairy dust flying all around.
Fairy dust and all that kind of stuff. For people seeing me live on... Actually, you saw it Wednesday if you saw me live on the Cheers show, which we haven't posted yet, but it'll be up later this weekend. You're seeing the crazy new color of my hair.
Okay. But I like this color.
It is good. I mean, I look at it. Actually, it's not... It actually started off this uber bright yellow. Thank you, Michelle King, for working with me on kind of toning it down a little bit.
It was almost like SpongeBob yellow.
Yeah, she thought I wanted to be pure blonde, and she was so concerned. I was there for 4 hours. She was so concerned to get it right, and actually she got it right. It was very bright, and that was a shock to my system, and then we toned it down a little bit later.
That's about as much as me getting my weave done sitting in the shop all day, okay?
And I was like, you know, I like this, but I'm not going to spend 4 hours a month with you, Michelle, even though you're great.
I like you and all, but okay?
It's a little bit ridiculous. Yeah. So,
let's talk about Pride.
Let's talk about Pride. That was on our notes.
Let's talk about Pride. You know, in all of the years that I've been in Phoenix, since Pride moved from Tempe way back in the day, this was the best experience I have ever had at a Phoenix Pride
Keep
Festival.
talking. I'm going to go get the banner that was in the parade for people who didn't see it.
Cool.
I know you didn't see it either, right?
No, I didn't. Actually, I saw one quick picture of it last night in someone's video of Pride activities. But I want to give props to Brandy, the ED of Phoenix Pride, her staff, her volunteers, the people in the community that all came together to make this year's festival just outstanding. I was truly impressed, from entertainment to the setup. Everything was covered. There were, I mean, everything was shaded. It was a little warm, but we can't do anything about the weather. But I give props to Phoenix Pride. Phoenix Pride did their job.
And I had, there was a friend of a friend who was here in town. He actually was in our car for the parade, and he actually was giving props to a lot of people of how organized Phoenix Pride was. And you can tell, I mean, they've done this before.
And I mean, it gives, Brandy, as far as heading out to see, in 5 years now that she's done wonderful work and getting everything together, and to be able to have the people with her, her staff, her board of directors, her volunteers, to really, step up the plate. I mean, I felt like I was in San Diego or somewhere. It was like,
quite amazing. Why don't you hold up the one side of this? We'll see if we can hold it up for the camera. So if you didn't get us in the parade, that was our little wonderful banner on both sides of the vehicle, and rainbowy and.
Right, 24/7 radio, iTunes, podcast. See, and you all can tell people all about this, those of you that didn't even know before now, everything that we're doing.
That's right. Easy to read, easy to, and, nice.
Yeah, you need to put one up here.
Well,
here. Yeah.
We'll get it, so we'll
Thank you.
Put this down on the...
So now at the festival, music was great. I didn't go Saturday until late, and I know you and the gang were there during the day, that night, and you were back on Sunday?
I didn't get back on Sunday. Sunday wound up being a day of, a little more of a day of rest and doing some other stuff. I meant to get back because I actually really did want to see Ernesto and Jean on the main stage at 2 o'clock, and I have heard through the grapevine that they did great.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
And so I did want to see them, but it just turned out, I said, we did the Pride, and it's great. And honestly, that's why it is 2 days. I mean, at the end of the day, not to play devil's advocate, but you can see the entire festival, like the physical grounds, in a couple hours. And if you have someone that you really want to see, if performers, all the musical acts, you can go and see all that and go to those specific times. And it was definitely, I was unsure of how I thought about them putting the shade over the main stage, but it was again, so enormous.
Yes, it was huge.
And with all the video cameras that they had set up for the live video.
The screens and everything there. I mean, it was like...
It was a concert. I mean, it was literally a major concert.
It was, and no matter which stage area you went to, the community stage, the main stage, the dance tent, wherever you were, you never felt like you were... It didn't make me feel claustrophobic.
Right.
You could get anywhere and do a lot. And they stepped up the food game this year, too. Oh.
I'll tell you what they did.
Okay. Because we love food.
One word.
Okay.
Lobster.
Did
you see that?
I didn't try it, though, but I saw that.
I actually didn't have lobster. Many people will make fun of me for having a fish sandwich and you're a gay man. But,
please, whatever.
It was a damn good fish sandwich.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm a foodie. I may not look it, but but anyhow, I was so surprised. Like you could get like lobster. Now, granted, it was a little pricey,
right?
But people were lining up for that thing,
right? Well, also I get their like tornado fries. The ones that they just take the
tomatoes,
and put it on a like a drill and just drill it out, and it just like OMG. Okay, I had some on Saturday and more on Sunday.
Shall we say that you had this kind of moment?
Yes. That was it. That was it. The angels were calling to me, okay? But I didn't get to experience funnel cake, and that's usually one of the things I do at a festival or fair or carnival or something. So I'm looking forward to funnel cake. But I want to, again, give props to Pride because you all stepped up your game, and kudos to you, and congratulations, Brandy, again, as you and Tambra head into your new life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing specifically in terms of what it was a great weekend for getting back together with some people, people that I hadn't gotten to hang out with in a while. It had been, I think, with my friend Johnny, 15 years since we all hung out at Pride. We've hung out together before and after that. But just, as bringing people back into the fold who hadn't seen the festival before and hadn't experienced it in its current form, which it has changed drastically over the years in many ways. And it was really a beautiful weekend. It was in the 80s, maybe high 80s.
We got 90 on Sunday.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could take your shirt off, you could leave your clothes on, whatever you want to do. It was fine. It was not insanely hot. It was nice to walk around. I missed, and I don't know, maybe we just didn't go venture every single place. I missed these water features that had been talked about, but I'm sure that they were there. That it was going to be areas that you could
cool
go
off
to cool off.
Yeah.
They had one of them last year. And they were supposed to have a few more this year, and I think we just didn't make it everywhere. When you're in a crowd, when you've got like 4, 5, 6 people, it's tough to kind of go everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
But still, it was a great festival, great amount of shade. Obviously, they've really upped that over the years.
Yeah, well, the family and I went on Sunday, but Dixie Flatline and I went on Saturday night.
Oh, way cool!
And that was,
I think we had just missed you.
Yeah, that was just like we had the coolest time just walking around and tried to see as much as we could as well.
Dixie Flatline, of course, no stranger to Q Talk America and this show.
Right, we love Dixie. We love Dixie Flatline. So, yeah.
Pride, I think, was great, and it was nice. I was just literally after the first week of my new digs over at ASU, and so that was really great to just have it was actually, for everyone that follows us, that last year we went bonkers and literally had every possible thing under the sun in terms of so many there's so much logistics in terms of we had the tents set up, we had all the, we're giving away the camera, we did so many different things, and we said this year we're going to dial it back a little bit and just do the parade, and the parade was I loved it. Did you, well, you didn't, so Clayton, there were 2 different announcer stages, so we were going, up the parade route. We go by the Clayton and Katie stage.
Yes, right out front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And literally, yeah, it was right out front, front of here. And they're like, oh, Clayton said, well, I've seen the pictures of Joe's car, but hadn't seen the car. So here's the car, everybody, and it's Q Talk and the founder of the thing, and yes. It's fully electric. He plugs this bitch in every single night.
No,
yes.
I love him.
He did.
I love him.
Yeah, I just died laughing.
The picture that I saw from the parade, which was like brief last night, someone had put up a little video collage. Cool. And so I saw you waving.
Nice.
I saw you
waving. It was
cool.
I did. That's saw awesome.
That. So
Send me the link. It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
Send me the post it or something like that.
That was pretty cool. But because I was wondering if we could freeze that. You know how sometimes
we do have a photo. Someone tagged me in a photo.
Oh, cool.
But you can't see me. I think you can see Gabe.
Oh. No, but you can
see the car.
You could see that it was you.
Oh,
cool. You could see your hand up and driving.
That's awesome.
You could see it.
That's
so that was really pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the parade.
We want to remind you to give us a call if you're listening live, or join us in the chat room, or you can always send us an email at joeandbabe@qtalkamerica.com.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But you were saying?
We talked about the parade. We talked about your hair. We know about the career change, those who've been listening and following. So tell me, what are you feeling like over on that big campus with all the folks? Tell me a little bit about that. What you think?
2 words. Government job.
Okay. All right.
It is a completely, and I wasn't quite prepared for this, even though people had told me, it is a completely different world in the academic, it's government, yes, it's academic world, compared to the
public-private sector.
For-profit,
right,
law firm where you just have to get everything done now, and it's critical, and there's nothing critical going on. I mean, there is. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad or negative, obviously, because it's a great, I work for the Honors College at ASU. A fantastic place, a really just fantastic place, and just really incredibly smart people. From the people who actually work there to the actual students, who, of course, we support.
Right. Job-wise, fine, good. So what's the scenery like? That's what I want to know.
There's a lot of scenery going on over there.
All right, lots of scenery.
I can just say that, ASU, I guess lately, is now the largest public university in the country.
Oh, I didn't know that.
By enrollment, it's like 73,000 students.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's counting online. I just think that's enrolled in all the 4 campuses. These students, and I'm in the southeast quadrant of campus where they have built recently a lot of the new dorms. They've built all these new apartment complexes and whatnot. These ASU students, I know that they go to class. I know that they sleep. But I think that the rest of their time, they're either in the gym or they're out with barely nothing on and they're tanning.
Okay, all over campus, no less.
Probably all over campus, but specifically in this southeast quadrant, because, I mean, I have a window outside my office. It kind of looks down to one of these kind of mall areas where everyone's coming and going.
Lucky.
You immediately walk out to anywhere in that area, or anywhere really in campus, and it's just... And I'm there because, we're there to serve the students. I'm there to manage their website and all the video stuff, but... Wow, there's a lot of eye candy.
Okay,
it's just a bit. It's almost overwhelming.
Okay, just one of the quirks.
One of the perks.
One of the quirky perks. Okay.
Yeah. It's wow. But anyhow.
So that's new hair, career, car.
Am I going through a midlife crisis? No, I don't think so.
No, I think you're.
I just made a lot of changes.
You're coming into your own. And it's the perfect time and place for you to be doing this. Yeah.
And it's what really hit me the other day, because we had this event this past week. All the honor students, normally, like when you think thesis, you think like people are in like grad school and stuff like that. The honors college actually requires them to do a thesis or a creative project of some sort that they have to, present to like a panel, and they have to get to defend it, say this is why I did it, and here's all the reasoning and the evidence and the research and so forth behind these ideas. And then some of them who want to actually present it at kind of a big event, they can submit to say, I want to present it. Well, they put up these big posters, they kind of talk to everybody. And it was at that event on Thursday that I was doing some video work, and it sunk in that day because I was out there with my friend Nicole, who's also part of the marketing department over there that I'm in. And it's sunk in that, yes, this is actually part of my job now. It's not something that they're like in the past. Right. Oh, you're going to do some video work. Well, just wrap that up real quick because you got to go back to this other stuff that you don't like.
Right.
It's part of my deal. It's part of the job now. It's really...
It's cool.
It's cool. It's really sinking in. It's just like when you have such change that happens in your life sometimes, you just don't... You can't completely put it all together for a little while and kind of let it slide in. And it's like, okay, like I'm not stressed out anymore. I mean, it really is a different world.
Good for you. I mean, it's like
it really is.
And even in the hectic past few weeks of the changes and things going on,
and we're trying to get all this stuff running
together
for the
here,
party
and
all
we
that.
had our open house and everything else. Still, you have been at a point of less stress.
It really has, and now it's really set in, and we're going to make some additional changes here at Q Talk because I was telling Babe in the beginning, when you sort of peel back the onion layers, you have these stress layers. You get rid of that. And you start realizing what's left. You also start realizing all the stress is just gone. And you get up in the morning, you're like, wow, I don't have to deal with all this stuff today. Like I can just go do my thing.
Right.
It's really amazing. I highly, it's a tough thing to do. It's a very tough thing to do. But if you do have the ability to try to change, whether it's a career, a job, get out of a piece of something that you don't like doing, do it. No matter what it takes. You may do it subconsciously like I did, building all this, media stuff. Right. Do it because the rewards at the end of that, whatever time that is, are tremendous. Just tremendous. I mean, I just can't, it's hard to even describe. I need to write a book. I need to get back to writing my book.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. That's going to be the next thing.
The novel, right?
Yeah, but it is. It's a. It's been a change that I've been able to see, and I'm glad that you're at that point. And even though, the additional eye candy, I guess I'm going to have to come over and have lunch with you.
We need to do lunch. We have this hall. Part of the Barrett has a complete little community so that all their students will succeed, and they can have their own little kind of community to work with and to live on campus in this own little community. And one of their dining halls, one of the pieces of the dining hall, they want to replicate kind of the old world style of the colleges back east, because that's that's what they compete with, Stanford and Yale and whatnot. And those are very, very like Ivy League school. So they designed it with all this the beautiful wooden tables and long tables and all these beautiful flags. But really, it's kind of modeled after the dining hall from Harry Potter. So they call it the Harry Potter dining hall.
Yeah, so I have to come over and check that out.
We need to go do that, yeah.
Do that and check out the eye candy. Even though somebody would say, well, babe, you're married. Okay, I'm married 23 years this year. We'll be together. But
you can still appreciate it.
You can appreciate the beauty.
The beauty. Okay. That's right.
Okay. Appreciate it.
And it is human beauty, and they're going to do a lot of great things as they get older.
As they get older, right. So, again, we're being sponsored by TLA Gay, and right now, 10% off your order. If you go to tlagay.com/QTalk, use the code QTalk through the end of April.
That's right.
And you'll get that discount. Okay?
That is right. Do it, because when you do that, they give us some love, and it helps keep doing stuff here at the studio, like replacing equipment. And our studio wide cam went out a couple weeks ago, and we have to figure out what to do with that. So it helps us out.
Right. Anybody on the in the chat room or calling us?
I think everyone is out and about. We've got all these things going. It is a beautiful day. It's about 80 degrees here in Phoenix. That was the thermometer said that. There's this thing going on, the Feast on the Street.
Tell me about that, because that sounds like something I might.
It already kind of annoyed me this morning, but I knew what it was, so it didn't really annoy me that much because the streets are closed.
Okay.
I guess there was something a couple years ago or recently, and I didn't do all my research, called Feast on the Bridge in London.
Huh.
This was an event where I guess everything was free, I believe. There was like free food and free drinks and everything. It was just a giant party, a big food fest party on the bridge, one of those famous bridges in London. This is Feast on the Street, which is taking place on First Street between Moreland and damn it, because I forgot the other street. But anyways, it's like a mile long, and they're going to have all these stages of entertainment. They're going to attempt to make, without making this dirty, the world's largest tossed salad. By taking all kinds of things and throwing it onto a tarp and throwing it up in the air. I don't know if I want to eat off of that.
I know, that sounds nasty.
That just doesn't sound right to me. But anyhow, and then they're going to have food trucks and food vendors, and apparently they're going to create the world's largest dinner table.
Oh.
By placing tables end to end for like a half a mile, and then put chairs up, and you can all sit down and have dinner.
First Street, downtown Phoenix.
Downtown Phoenix.
Okay,
happening
people,
actually starting at 2 p.m. today, and a half an hour from now until 9 o'clock tonight.
All right, that might be something to check out, seeing that, I love food.
So if you're listening live, that's great. If you're listening as a podcast, well, you're out of luck.
Yep.
Stay tuned next year.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Phoenix is trying to do some things. And, again, what is great, it is April. It's the middle of April, and we're at 80 degrees, so we are still experiencing some springtime.
Right.
So I was hoping for that.
We actually can say this year we've had a spring.
We've had a spring
storm.
Yep.
Pride was wonderful. The day after Pride, the wind picked up. And
oh my goodness!
Okay, and wasn't
that was
amazing?
The day of the SkyTrain opening?
Yes. Was there a delay? Because that was something else in the week that went
wonderful.
No,
there wasn't actually. It did open at noon. My friends and I went over there after work and took the SkyTrain, the new automated train that takes you from the light rail station at 44th and Washington to East Economy and Terminal 4, and then in 2 years it'll open it up to Terminal 3.
See how we segued into that, though? That was cool. Hey.
And we went over there. We had dinner at the airport.
Oh, wow.
Because they have some local restaurants. The airport has been investing in getting rid of some of the national chains and putting in local restaurants.
At Terminal 2?
Terminal 4.
Oh, 4.
Which is the most used
terminal of the,
So, sauce, sauce, pizza, and wine.
Yes.
That's there. Chelsea's Kitchen is there. Chevron's, which is closing on Central, is moving to the airport.
That's interesting.
So lots of local flavors, so that people, when they're coming to Phoenix, they can really understand what Phoenicians, love and are the food.
That's interesting that you say that, because someone else I on Facebook the other day said, going to eat at the airport, talk to you later. And it was like, okay, maybe they were going to go check out one of the new restaurants. Because I had no idea, but it was in my head, why are they going to eat at the airport?
Right?
Yeah.
And it was about the same price. It wasn't like they've specifically made it that the pricing there is more in line with what you get on the street here, instead of some jacked up price just because you're at the airport.
Right.
So I think that's really, really great. That's been, I think, a number of projects that were a little bit, spearheaded by the airport as well, but I think also the local city council and whatnot have said, let's do this. The Visitor Bureau probably as well.
Had something to do with that, Convention and Visitors Bureau, I think so as well.
So go eat at the airport.
Yeah.
Or when you're stopping in through Phoenix, eat at Terminal 4.
Right. Check out some of the local
flavors.
Yeah, and saying that makes me think, that they are doing a restructuring of the old Beefeaters on Camelback.
Yeah, what's that becoming?
It's becoming a Changing Hands bookstore.
Oh.
A well-known local chef whose name I cannot call right now is opening a little restaurant. And then there's going to be what they're calling a gathering place. So I'm wondering if it's just like a hangout with Wi-Fi that you can just go and chill but it's they did a ribbon cutting grand opening kind of thing for getting it started. So, and that Beefeaters has been empty for
many years.
And I always loved that building.
Yeah. It's been there for forever. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to go to it, but I ran out of time this morning, and I can segue into something else. I was supposed to go to a new kind of lunch and breakfast and dinner place that's part of Canvas. Canvas, which had tried to open many, many years ago, failed, never went anywhere. Now they've actually opened some restaurants there, right at 3rd Street and Roosevelt.
Right there in that corner.
Yeah. So one of them is called Scratch. The other one is called something else, kind of like it looks more like a bar. The other one, the Scratch place, is kind of like they call it a French cafe. But, they had some interesting things on the menu. My monthly brunch group called Smunch Phoenix was supposed to go there, and I just missed them by a little bit, but no worries.
Wow. Well, so that whole area down in there right now, but
really reviving itself.
An artisan and specialty restaurant area.
It really has. And you have that new complex that opens at the end of the summer for the ASU students. It wasn't built by ASU, but that whole residential complex that used to, on that lot that used to sit empty for
which is
10,
huge.
12 years. Enormous. So there's going to be lots more people down there. And that's to help support the ASU downtown campus. And to segue even further, before that, I was up this morning helping out someone that I know kind of from, if I can get this shot right, there we go. Someone that I know from Claudine Wessel, one of my foodies on Cheers, Eat, Drink, and Be Fabulous. Pavle Milik, who is the owner of F&B, F&B, not F&B, restaurant in downtown Scottsdale, Old Town Scottsdale, and very, very. It's hard to describe the food. It's American kind of bistro, but it's very, very high end. Everything is elevated. Everything is an amazing food. They feature all Arizona wines. And he has some space. They had moved a few months ago to a new location in that same area, and they have an upstairs, and part of it was they discovered that it was a former DJ booth.
Wow.
So in this space used to be like a club or something. So he said, let's turn it into a radio thing, an online radio for podcasting and whatnot. And to make a long story short, Claudine, of course, hooked him up with me to say, hey, well, Joe could really help you out. So the similar setup that we have here, minus a few components because they don't have to be as complicated as we are, another podcasting online radio studio powered by iOS devices is just about nearly set up.
Isn't that something?
So we're kind of spreading our a little technology out and about. So that's called AZ Now Radio. They're going to have a bunch of hosts and shows. I think a lot of it revolves around food, so to speak, because of course I think it's food and also a little bit of the Latino community because he's a Latino.
Okay.
But should be pretty good. myaznowradio.com. So to kind of plug them, I think they start like next week or the following week. But nice guys. So that's what I was doing this morning and last week and doing some kind of consulting on that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, babe,
Yes,
I threw this in there because I saw this somewhere. I saw this. I was on Reuters. So some guy is advocating, and I thought this would be up your alley because you're female.
Uh-huh.
Some guy is advocating that bras just need to go away and they're like bad for you.
Okay.
And that kind of dovetails with all these boys in ASU who just like to wear basketball shorts and nothing else.
Okay.
So like, what's up with like not wearing bras?
I think it's interesting that this is a male. This is his concept.
That's true, and that's kind of a little odd, right?
First of all, he doesn't have boobs. Okay.
Exactly.
He probably loves looking at them,
touching them,
and the whole thing.
Most straight males seem to like to do that.
Okay, but no,
and some gay males
say
too.
Gay men because I was going to say because gay men love my wife's big American breasts. Okay, all gay men. Okay, they love them. I don't know why, but
there's so many others that do.
Right. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting coming from a man. Okay. Secondly, bras for women are usually about comfort.
Okay. Which goes against his
about
mantra.
Appearance in clothes and how they look. And I will say, and there are those who don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I don't think it was anything specifically. It's just like talking about reproductive rights for women. We want the support. We would love to have the input. But we don't need you going out there trying to tell us what to do with our stuff.
Right.
Whether it's top stuff, bottom stuff, inside stuff, outside stuff. Right. I just found that a little, it got on my last gay nerve.
Gay nerve, okay.
Yep. What'd you think about that?
I read it, and I read part of it at least, and he was talking about like, muscle support, and it's damaging, or whatever, and I didn't think of what you were talking about, that, he's a guy, and it's kind of like, well, how does he have all this kind of, expertise, because he's not a woman.
He's not right.
But it makes sense, and, we hear these things all the time. We hear these kind of strange articles come out, but I was like, that's interesting. Let's throw that in the notes and just kind of discuss that. But that makes sense, Next thing they'll say like, underwear for guys is bad.
Right. Well, it's like you
Go
said,
commando.
Think about all the guys walking around campus in those little sexy little shorts and, and are like me in my part-time gig. You all know it at Offshoot 2.
That's right.
And guys are coming in all the time. And, whether it's swimwear or underwear, they're wanting that extra little support. Some don't want that support.
Right.
But I told the guys there, like, with some of the things are designed specifically like women and bras. It's like to lift and separate.
Right. And I mean, I have a variety of undergarments that do a variety of different things.
Different things, yes.
What's interesting, and we don't need to discuss this ad nauseum, because I know you're on Facebook and you see the people that share all the different things and the likes. What do you think of this whole sort of, it's been like, I think maybe a year and a few months since Andrew Christian really sort of turned up the heat on creating all this massive advertising campaign that, I mean, yes, number one, it's playful, it's new videos and photos and everything all the time, and some would say, well, Victoria's Secret does the same thing. The world of advertising to straight guys does the same thing with women. So why shouldn't they do the same thing with men? Does it seem? And like I said, I'm not saying that I don't find it attractive and erotic and hot and everything, because I do. But does it seem a bit much somehow?
Okay. Someone who works in retail and
sees all that all the time, right?
Selling to men, straight or gay,
right?
Okay, I know that we know that sex sells.
It does.
We know that.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that bothers me right now, with Andrew Christian, specifically as far as one of the major vendors, is that the models appear to be younger and younger.
True.
Okay.
They are much younger.
And it, to me, is borderline
softcore porn.
Yeah.
A lot of it really is,
It
actually.
is.
And then you can get the uncensored version,
Right.
which pretty much is
yeah.
It's not
And
hardcore, but
so-
it's soft. Yeah.
But, and there is that very thin line between erotica
Yep.
and porn.
Yeah.
As a feminist, to me, I step back sometimes and I say,
Right.
okay, people,
Yeah.
we're blurring,
Yeah.
okay, what's happening. But, Andrew Christian has wonderful products.
Yep.
There are cute boys in the ads.
Yep.
Some of them look a little bit too young for me. Twink, twink, twink,
Yep,
twink. But
yep.
anyway, he knows what sells.
He knows what sells,
it's
yeah.
like even with women, and like you said, with Victoria's Secret, I
And
have
all
a
of that
problem
other-
with them right now.
Okay.
Because they're promoting a new push-up bra line and bikinis for preteens.
Wow. Wow.
Okay,
Preteens.
preteens.
My God.
Okay, so we're talking that 10 to and body development is different,
Right.
for different ages.
Yep.
But that's what they're promoting right now. So
And
for me, I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell?
And it's the weird thing also, and that's sort of interesting, and maybe they can do that because they feel like they're part of that. It's the straight world, and I haven't seen anything trying to, Andrew Christian doesn't touch anything in terms of they don't have a boys section. They
Right,
don't have and I
right.
think they're doing that because they don't want to get they don't want to get caught in that whole world. But yeah, it just seems it is borderline softcore porn, and
Yep.
and it's kind of like, how edgy do you make? It's like, yeah, it sells, but does it again give the gay community a little bit kind of more of a bad name, bad rap, just because it's like, well, this is what it does. If you want to be a gay brand, this is how you have to sell it.
Well, anyway, what's interesting is that I just picked up a number a couple of days ago from a contact for Andrew Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to see if we can talk to them about that.
That would be great.
Uh-huh.
They've been on a couple other talk shows, and I've
Yep.
actually given some thought about that. We should actually talk to them as well.
I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to want to talk to me, but
That's
I
right.
want to
You
talk
wanna
to
talk to
them.
them.
Yes, I want
That's
to
right.
talk to them.
So
Okay.
coming up.
Okay, coming up soon. Mama Babe and somebody from Andrew Christian.
Andrew Christian.
That's right.
Let's talk again real quick and remind you that we are brought to you by our friends over at TLA Gay. In fact, we can actually just run this, even though some parts of this will going to be invalid, but we can do this. TLAgay.com, which you'll see show up on the screen here in just a few seconds.
There we go.
There it is. This is the ad that runs on Clayton's show, actually, without the audio. But anyhow, TLA Gay has all kinds of things. They've been featuring this global warming gay cinema film, which won all kinds of awards. And as you see, we kind of scroll through things. They have a lot of different gay cinema. They have lesbian titles. Mm-hmm. They have ebooks. They have traditional books, things that you won't find anywhere else. And again,
I love that lesbian cinema under that was homopop.
Okay,
right.
Right.
What is homopop?
You have to go there, TLAgay.com/QTalk. And it doesn't expire it'll expire 4/30 actually, but use coupon code QTalk during the checkout for 10% off your order. And that's on top of any other discounts you might already get, like free shipping. So it's really actually a good thing. And again, there's that code, there's that information. And we'll kind of jump it back to us here. But you want to go there and get whatever you might need. There's things that you can find there that you can't find anywhere else. And they also have a little clothing, kind of like a style section.
Right.
Of course, they have everything so that after dark, or maybe you play during the middle of the day, you have your horizontal or vertical copulation maneuvers and whatever may float your boat. If you need accoutrements with that, you can get those.
See?
It's your toys and your dildos and your lube and all the other kind of
relationship
things.
enhancement
Products. That's right, exactly. That's what you need, and they've got all that there, and that is, again, at TLAgay.com/QTalk. Enter code QTalk during checkout for 10% off your entire order, and we thank them for their support. I would promote all the other ones, but at the end of the day, they're all gone. So we did want to thank Phoenix Pride. We sponsored the parade, a fantastic event this year. And the Aunt Rita's Soiree, which I attended last night.
How was that?
Very well attended, as always. They seemed to, it was funny, I was there with Jake and Brad, and Jake was starving before the event, so we went over there, and he's like, let's stake out where the little people with the appetizers are coming out of. I'm like, Jake, that's awesome.
That's really bad.
So he was like interrupting all the little people. He's like, come on, what do you got?
My gosh.
And they did have, they had that going on. Obviously, they had the wonderful event. The art museum was open for everyone, and they had the various awards and speeches, and you could win tickets to some destinations through Southwest Airlines, I believe, and also those wonderful little whoopie pies. That
really, the restaurant with the And
actually, they don't even have a location anymore. They do everything online, I guess. But those little Whoopie Baking Company, the little tiny, delicious little micro cakes that have filling inside of them with some coffee. So that was a lovely way to end out the week.
Wow.
And before that, I had gone out to dinner with the group from the ASU LGBT kind of staff club.
Really?
Over at Rula Bula in downtown Tempe. So it was a very busy social evening last night.
Wow.
And, as usual, also kind of to relate back to some things before, I've been making the adjustments of the electric car kind of thing and seeing, how many days I can go without needing to charge it, just drive around a little bit here and there and charge it up every couple days. So I got home last night, stuck it on the charger, and then went out to the soiree with Jake and Brad and met up with other people there. And, the nice thing is you can do that stuff and your car just lets you know when it's done.
Right.
So we just came back and took it off the charger and,
cool.
went on to the next thing. So it's the electric car is the electric experience has now been passed on to a few more people. Jake and Brad, my friends, decided to get their own electric car 2 weeks ago.
Did
so
they?
I'm not the only one in the garage anymore.
All right.
And then my other friend, our other friend, again, someone else who is usually on the network, had been thinking of it, and now that he saw people actually driving it and getting around at a certain distance that they can drive, he also got one as well. So
cool.
I've already influenced 2 other people to get electric vehicles.
Look at you.
Freaking crazy.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about all the things going on with marriage equality and the stuff.
Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, and not only here,
but south of here.
Southwest. Yeah, and
east, actually.
But just nationally, and it was something that I saw online earlier, and it made me think about this. Okay, the countries, the continents, and where is the good US of A, who's supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave,
That's right.
And all of this.
Why are we the last one?
If we look at the Netherlands in 2001, Belgium, Canada, Spain, South Africa, Norway,
South Africa. Yeah.
Sweden, Portugal, Uruguay, Denmark, Argentina, Iceland, and even the possibility of France coming up really soon.
They're working on it.
Where are we?
Nowhere.
And
we're slowly
just,
evolving with this state by state thing. And then, of course, we did have on the same week that we had our party was when the court started to take up the Prop 8 and the DOMA cases, of which we've heard nothing about since.
Because we really aren't going to hear anything until
June.
June or July, right?
But
I just thought I'd throw that out there right now. We've got all these countries, all these places, continents, everything, and here we are struggling, still fighting.
Time to move.
And lots of people have thought about that, and especially right now with the whole immigration aspect of life and gay couples and people trying to figure out what's going.
Can they come into the country?
Are they going to be booted out? They've couples that have been together for years, couples that are just getting together, but all of these kinds of things, what's going to happen?
And it really, this is obviously, it's something that's controlled by the fact that you have an older generation and you have the religious world that just doesn't want this to go through.
Right.
And they're, you talk to most, I say most people with air quotes, most people are reasonable, and realistically, most people are not diabolically set in their ways against this. In fact, you can see the numbers as the numbers continue to change in our favor. I think, isn't it favored now, like 55 or 53%? It's the majority of the nation, if you run the polls, it's now in favor of. And obviously with the president coming out about it and many politicians and even some of the GOP changing their mind, I think it's only a matter of time. But you do have this bass-ackwards Congress, and you have people in power keeping these things going realistically only for power and money. It really is not about... That's true. It really, when it comes down to it, it's really not about gay marriage. It's not about this... you see all the memes on Facebook, about, straight couples, straight couples their marriages are now threatened because of gay marriage equality. Right. Said no straight couple ever, things like that. It's really not about any of that. If you follow sort of the money and the power, it really is just about keeping these people in power. And to be honest, and nothing to say against, religions and certain religions and whatnot, it's actually to keep a lot of these big organized religions in power. You look at the Pope stepping down because of a potential scandal that he could have had, and that he, even if he could be in trouble, he may not get in trouble because of the way that the church is set up, being totally an independent state, and it's not under UN control. We're just continuing to see a lot of things slowly unravel. Slowly. Yeah. And as they unravel, you have one thing that unravels, like gay marriage, and then you have something else that'll unravel. And there's going to be continuing to be a lot of change over the next couple months and years, because as people realize, oh, now there's gay marriage, and the sky didn't fall, right, and the world didn't crash, and the second coming didn't happen, and all these terrible things that people said were going to happen didn't.
That were prophesized.
That didn't happen. Man. You then have a lot of people that start questioning their own beliefs because, right, well, it didn't happen. So now what? Right. And we could go on and on that one. Ad nauseum. And we'll add the promo that if you want to hear more political and news and talk, then you should tune into the Agenda Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific with our crack team of experts. Yes. Kathy Young, who got to go to the
Easter egg roll,
and she didn't even. I don't think she was even on the show this week because she was out in Hawaii.
Right, and
so I don't know if they've actually talked about her experience yet.
Yeah, because I just thought,
because wasn't it just last weekend?
Easter was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
So maybe she hasn't actually gotten even to talk about the experience yet on the show. Anyways, her and Rebecca Winninger and Bill Farmer, great crew on Wednesday nights. That's the Agenda, 7:30 live. Let's see, as I the one thing about having a mini iPad, it's mini text.
I know.
Someone decided many moons ago that they were going to make the web standard text like 6-point, and I'm like,
I know, no. And no matter how you try to make
enlarge it, it don't matter.
Nope.
I hate it. Anyways. So we got Uruguay. Congratulations to that. Apparently the guy who did the Gangnam Style just released a new single on YouTube. He's probably getting billions of hits on that one.
I want to smack him because, I could have came up with a dang
Gangnam Style.
Smack your booty kind of.
And now there was a few months ago, the other thing that came out, the Brooklyn Shake.
Yes.
No, the Harlem Shake.
Harlem Shake, yeah.
And someone said we should do one. I'm like, you know what? Let's just wait. There'll be another thing that come out, and then we can be on time with that one.
Okay.
Let's see. France is working on that. Uruguay's working on that. We talked about that. Do you watch... I know you probably have cable, but it's kind of like, would you care if, over-the-air TV went away? Do you have an antenna?
It would bother me because we have cable, but in the 2 rooms of the house, the kids' bedroom and the office, we just have the basic out-of-the-wall cable connect, so you can only get certain channels.
There is a company that is causing stirring up the pot. I think in a good way, but some of the broadcasters, including Fox, who we probably wouldn't care
to watch
see
anyway.
Well, I mean, maybe for The Simpsons, but not the Fox News. And I'm not really into sports, so the hell with the Fox Sports.
Right.
But anyhow, company, they're only in New York right now. It's called Aereo. We're going to talk about it more on the tech show. Really cool company. They figured out how to make antennas like the size of a little microchip. So they have like thousands of them in a data center somewhere. And they pick up the on-air signals like your regular HD TV would. But they make it that you can stream that signal to whatever device you want because it's free over the air. They charge like $8 a month, and you can have it. You can DVR it. You can watch it live, whatever, and you don't have to have your worried about your rabbit ears, your whatever, and you get that HD TV signal. The companies are saying they're losing out. They would be losing out too much money on rebroadcast fees or all this XYZ, and say we're going to just make if they're continuing to do this, we're going to just turn off our air signal and make you subscribe to it on cable or make you subscribe to it in some other way.
I don't think they have to really think this out because...
Well, yeah. They're going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because it's going to be some PO'd people.
And not everyone's going to necessarily buy the Aereo service.
No.
But... So it's like they're just whining, and I'm like, really? You're acting like...
Somebody else will figure out a way to tap in through it anyway.
Right.
Look how people get cable for free right now.
Right.
Okay?
Someone's always going to come up with some way. And the other company, I think, is doing a great thing with new technology and stuff like that. But there's always these gigantic media companies that are like, oh, my God, our revenue is going to go down by $10,000, and we're going to be... or $10 million, and we're going to be broke. But I don't know. Let's see. We don't have a lot of people in the chat room, but we want send us an email when you hear this episode, joeandbabe@qtalkamerica.com. You can, of course, also call us when we're not on the air at 888-791-9294. Leave us a voicemail. So summer's coming. Where are you going this summer? Have you started planning? Did you buy your tickets? What are you doing? In August, late August, I'm going to New York City, because it's the centennial of Grand Central Terminal, to go see my favorite train station and to go ride some trains and perhaps see some people out there. And I'll be doing some other things in the fall.
Cool.
But where are you going? What are you doing? We want to know, and then we can talk about it on the next show. Are you going somewhere? Anywhere, babe?
We're making some plans right now. Might be doing like a family trip to go to St. Louis to connect with some of the other people there. I am going to make my way to California with or without the wife and kids because I'm going to dip my big toe in the ocean.
The ocean?
Okay. So at some point in time, I'm doing that. But other than that, right now, we haven't really made a whole lot of plans. It is coming up.
It's April.
Yeah.
June, end of June is technically the official start of summer, but really the official start of summer is Memorial Day weekend by many people's calendar or thermometer. And so we want to know what you're doing. Right. Let us know so we can talk about it. Like Babe said, we've had kind of a lull of guests over the past couple weeks and things we've been here and there and off the air and back on the air. But we're going to have some more guests coming up and talk to some more real soon. So
yeah, it's
really
just
cool.
Everybody's been so busy, so many things going on.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's good. But so you all just have to deal with Joe and I, who do the best of what we do every Saturday that we are together in the studio.
Right.
Okay.
1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Eastern time. We're getting it down to last few minutes, and one of the
things
I wanted to do a bit of Babe today, and it's a somber moment, but also it's a celebratory moment for those in the community that have not heard. We lost a very valuable community member this past week, Bob Hague. Yes. And a lot of people knew Bob really as the godfather of Gay Phoenix because he'd been around for a while, opened one of the first gay businesses in the Valley, a little card shop years ago. But for the past 20 years, people have known Bob as the man behind the front desk at the Southwest Center for HIV and AIDS. And he's done a lot of wonderful work in the community. Lots of people just love Bob. He was also the recipient of the Martin Luther King Award, and I think that was in around 19, the Living the Dream Award, and it was in his honor a few years back. But in 2006, Bob was also one of the first recipients of the ECHO awards for leadership awards, which I think is wonderful. He did so many great things. I was blessed to see him Wednesday and Thursday at Southwest Center when I did a presentation this past week. Gave me a hug, wanted to know if I was going to be at Pride. Said, of course I will. He said, are you going to the dance? Not sure. He's in his typical thing is just a little slice of heaven is what he would always say. But he said, this might be my last year out there on the dance floor, but I'm going to definitely be there. He was out at Pride. He went to the equality dance. And I said, you know, gay in as in life and gay in death. Bob Hague went out doing what he does and does best. So for those of you who knew him, I definitely am grieving with you. And I would like to give our condolences to both his son, Christopher, and of course his lifetime partner of 40 years, to Mel. So I just wanted to acknowledge to Mel Reese, the community members at Southwest Center, and to his son, Chris, that we're grieving with you. And we will all celebrate his life. That's the bit of Babe today.
He was a great guy.
Yeah, really good man.
Really, and his son, I've known his son Chris throughout the years, and also another really amazing person, and someone who works a lot with the community.
Yeah. I spoke with my daughter this morning from London, and it's really interesting. She'll be giving birth to my first granddaughter from that kid. And Bob Hague actually gave me a fertility necklace that I gave to her, and she took it in for her last IVF treatment, and she got pregnant. So I love the man.
Congrats to that.
I know. I love it.
For sure.
All right.
Well, as usual, we got to get out of here.
Okay.
You can always find us here 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern live on every Saturday afternoon, unless some cataclysmic thing happens or Babe or I can't make it and then we've got a guest or something like that. But we are always here. And you can reach us, of course, live or through the voicemails at 888-791-9294. We're always curious to see what's on your mind. What do you think? What do you have some ideas for future guests that we might want to do, or what you want us to talk about? You can also reach us at joeandbabe at qtalkamerica.com. We love your feedback. Otherwise, throughout the week, qtalkamerica.com is your nexus of information with all the great shows running 24/7 on the radio stream and also the live video shows. Or catch us on YouTube. You can get us everywhere.
Anywhere.
That's right.
All right.
Babe, it's been great.
It's been a good Saturday morning.
I'm Jody Ganzik.
And I'm Babe Kaler.
And we'll talk to you next week.